I wanted to make a short video about a recent road trip and a bit of an observation I had. So I was driving up from South Florida to Orlando, and as I was driving, I noticed that there were many, many more EV stations along the way than there had ever been in the past. As I drove along, every rest stop on the turnpike has now Tesla superchargers. There used to only be, I think, 2 between here and Orlando. Now everyone has it. And they also have some of these FP&L installed chargers that allow you to charge any other kind of car. I can't remember which company it was. Was it ChargePoint maybe, or maybe it was Evolution? I'm not sure. I can't remember now. But anyway, there's another company that's providing charging through FP&L that allows you to charge your car at every one of these rest stops. And then even go further than that, as I looked at different routes that I could take and different places I could go, I started noticing there were many more chargers along the way than there have ever been in the past. And many of them are the high-capacity chargers. These chargers along like these major thoroughfares turn out to be the high-capacity chargers. And then the lower capacity chargers, like the level 2 type chargers like I have in my house, those are starting to pop up in more places around. I was just at a park here in town, and I noticed they had just installed chargers there. They just showed up this week. And I'm like, wow, this is the paradigm-altering moment about charging and the EV adoption. I read an article that I thought was kind of interesting that was related to this, and they talked about how you shouldn't think about anything related to charging your car like you would think about getting gas. It's a completely different paradigm. And in context, I get it, because really what you should be thinking about is how you keep your car charged to get to where you want to go, or keep it charged so that you can go around town. Look, I've talked in the past about how I just leave my car. You can see it's outside. It's been outside for maybe 2 days now, and I'll bring it back in the garage later to charge it. I'm not driving it that much, so I don't need to keep it charged all the time. And when I do need to go somewhere, I go ahead and charge it up to whatever percentage, and then I go. And it makes it really easy and convenient. I don't have to worry about charging it all the time. I try to keep it charged somewhere between 20 and 80% all of the time, but I don't keep it charged up to 80 all the time. I just try to keep it in that range, and some days I leave it outside, and sometimes I keep it in the garage, and I just keep cycling through. And as I think about the way you charge and the fact that there's a charger up at the park up there, if I go up to the park, I can leave my car plugged in while I'm in the park for a while. And it's kind of nice because it's near some fields where kids play. So if you were there and you're taking your kids up to play sports up there, you could certainly just leave your car plugged in while they're playing. So there's a lot to be said for the way this works and sort of the shift in the paradigm. So what that means is that you really shouldn't be thinking about charging in the same way that you think about getting gas. You think about, you go and you fill up your fuel tank. You go to the gas station, you fill up your fuel tank, you have the gas in your car, and you drive around for however long you need it, then you go and fill it up again. Maybe it's a matter of convenience because a certain gas station is closer. It might be a matter of brand loyalty, you like a certain type of gas, or it might be that you just like to spend the least amount you can on gas and you're looking for the lowest cost option. Whichever it is, you're doing the things that make that work from a gas perspective when you're putting gas in your car, and you're making the decisions and the trade-offs to do that. And maybe you commute to work every day, so you're trying to charge before you go to work, or you're taking a trip and you can go 400 miles on your tank of gas, so you're planning that up. With the EV cars, it's different. You shouldn't be thinking about it the same way. You should just be thinking about charging as it becomes apparent that you need it. Keep your car charged when you can, charge it up before you take a trip, stop anywhere you can and get a little extra charge. The actual cost to charge is small. Now, I will admit that when I went on this trip and I stopped at a couple of superchargers along the way, some of them were charging as much as 40 cents per kilowatt hour. So it was costing me as much as about $24 to charge my car from completely empty to completely full. So it's a little more pricey than it used to be, but I could still go somewhere close to 200 miles on that charge. So that's not so bad as far as that goes. So what I'm trying to get to is it's really about changing your paradigm and the way you think about charging versus the way you think about gas. Charging is so convenient and so easy. I think the longest I stopped to charge the entire time I was 20 minutes. And that was at one point when I got to Orlando and I was trying to get to somewhere else within the city. The car suggested I stop to charge for about 20 minutes. That way I would have more energy in the car. And this was a lower capacity charging station that cost a little less to charge. So it didn't do it, I think it was at 100 kilowatts instead of 200 that some of the other ones were. So it was a little slower. But still, maximum of 20 minutes. I went in, I bought a little snack at the shop that was there, and then just went on my way. I really wasn't there for very long. In fact, I took out my phone to do something, and by the time I had my phone out, the car was telling me it was almost charged. So, it really wasn't that long while I was there when I was charging. So realistically, this is a really nice way to get around, and you really have to think differently about the way you use your charging and the way you think about the car, rather than thinking about it as, I have to get gas. It's just a paradigm altering shift, and that's all I wanted to share with you.